All right, since we just started the recording, welcome everybody. Today is our, what do we do this like once a quarter, Jake?
That's generous.
Okay, this is our technology overview. It's a great one for new agents where they get used to some of the technology that Equity offers, submission process, some of the shortcuts for dot loop we've done in the past. But I want to start out showcasing some things that are brand new that I was just introduced to last week at our annual broker getaway, whatever you call it. So first of all, we're going to go to here. Okay, so this is Elevate. You should all be familiar with Elevate. If you don't know your Elevate login, you can email Jake at joinequitytoday@gmail.com and uh, and get access to this. But we have a lot of resources in here, guys, and we're constantly working on making improvements and adding things. A couple of the ones that I want to show you is down in the marketing section. There's this new creative suite and property listing AI. All right. So this is for those of us that we've heard of AI and we know that it's not short for Al, but beyond that, we're not really sure how to use it, right? So we hear people talking about it. It's all the buzzword, but we don't know how to use it very well. So our Chief Technical Officer Jared, and by the way, if you know Jake, I shared this with Jared. I shared it with his wife. Jake last Tuesday, if you know Jake at all, he is the most brilliant kid I've ever met. Like he processes information faster than anybody I know. And we are so blessed to have him here with us. But he said of Jared last week as we were driving home, he said, Jared's worth 10 of me. Like he's amazing. Right. And that stuck me, that hit me hard. And by the way, Jared, I shared that this morning and Denise said, that's not possible. It was Denise or Monica. I can't remember who said it, but um, you've got your own fan base here. So, anyways, Jared's programmed some things to make it easy for us. So let's look at the creative suite first of all. So this is for those of you that want to make social media posts, but you don't feel like you're creative, you're not sure what to say, and so this makes it easy for you. All right. So what do you want to post about? You've got some suggestions down here: selling process, first time buyers, listing prep, a market update. So let's do a market update, right? Who are we talking to? Let's talk to everyone today. We could do first time buyers if we wanted to up there, first time buyers. In fact, let's do that. Let's really customize it here for first time buyers. And the voice that we want to use is, I don't know, I don't want to intimidate first time buyers, so I'm going to do casual and fun. And we're going to do a quick one, 150 to 250 words. Standard is 3 to 500. Anyways, we're going to do a quick little one here. Supporting facts or data. I don't have any supporting facts and data on me. I could very easily. I could go to um, the, the UAR website, sorry, the Utah Association of Realtors website. I can get some facts and data off there. I can get some really good reports. I can take an expert quote from an industry expert, add credibility. I'm going to mention our local market, so add Utah specific terms. And I don't want to do emojis. So I'm going to create a post, and that's all I had to do. So that wasn't hard, was it? And I just come back up here, and it's writing my posts. I get to wait about 10 to 15 seconds and see what it comes up with for me. Oh boy, something went wrong. Try it again. Try it again. Sorry, I've done this before and it didn't have trouble. While this is thinking, let me go over to this one because I did do this one this morning. I had a brand new listing. Now, same thing. We've got those 255 character spaces or whatever that were allowed on the MLS. We can do more. It just means that the page will carry over to a second page. But we need a little bit of helpful attention on how to write that property description down there in the public remarks. So one of the things that I can do is I can come in here and I can create a new property, right? So I come in and if I'm going to create a new property, I just put in the street address. Again, what writing style do I want to use and what buyers am I trying to target? And so I've got this one right here that I just did this morning. So we're going to view the details of it. And well, let me close it. So what I did is you come in here and you add the property. And so I just put in some of the details of the property, first time home buyers, and I can write in some custom features if I want to. And then I can upload my photos. So I just drag and drop my photos into it and it scans all the photos. And then it wrote me this, and I can rewrite it as many times as I want. I can copy and paste it directly into the MLS, but this is probably better writing than I would have done if it were just left up to me. Again, I've got the property photos. I have a whole bunch of them. Sorry, it's only showing one right there. But you can load all your property photos in there, and then it writes it all out for you. So there's some pretty cool technology. I was playing around with it this morning. Let's see if this one worked. Oh, it did. Okay, so this is our social media post. Hey, first-time home buyers feeling a little nervous or overwhelmed about taking the leap into homeownership, especially here in dynamic Utah. That's completely normal, and honestly, you're not alone. Journey to buying your first place, whether it's a cozy condo or a charming family home along the Wasatch Front, can seem a lot to tackle. Guess what? It doesn't have to be intimidating. Think of us as your friendly guides, ready to break down the process into clear manageable steps, from figuring out what you can realistically afford to exploring different neighborhoods and understanding the ins and outs of an offer. We're here to simplify things. Our goal is to make your first home purchase an exciting and empowering experience free from pressure. Turn those nerves into excitement and get you ready for your big adventure. Reach out anytime if you'd like to chat about your options. Start building your dream home here in Utah. It gives you the hashtags. You can tweet it, make it shorter, add more details, sound more casual. You can do all that stuff. There's your Instagram post, your Facebook post, a little bit different, LinkedIn, email, and even a blog. Then you just copy that and share away. What do you guys think of that? Is that helpful?
So you just go ahead and click that copy button, and then just post it on whichever social media platform is listed there. Is that how you do it?
Yep.
That's really cool.
Kind of makes it really easy to make yourself sound more eloquent, maybe, than we actually are, right? And it didn't sound too AI. I know a lot of us have read AI stuff, and it kind of screams that it wasn't written by a human. I thought that looked pretty good. Pretty good writing. Anyways, those were two new things that I'd never seen before in there, and I thought I wanted to share those with you. Another thing that I want to share with you, Jake, if I may take one more, is if you haven't seen it, this is our recruiting website for our office. So as I mentioned earlier, last year we just finished, we won the Empire Award for our office. So we are the largest brokerage within equity real estate nationwide. And a lot of that is due to you guys. We were second place for recruiting last year. We had one office beat us out, and we would like to beat them this year. One of the ways that we can do this is by sharing this with people. Jake and I built this really simple site, right? It's got the basics here. If they click schedule a call, there's a call to action on each page. If they click schedule a call, it takes them right to my calendar where they can schedule directly a meeting with me, and it sets up a Zoom call with them. If we go to why join us, we go through some of the favorite things. We've got the commission structure, industry leading tools and support. The comprehensive training takes them to the Elite Agent training page. And then they've got a little production calculator, earnings calculator that they could put their stuff in and see how much money they could save there. So that's a great thing to share with your friends that might be at a different brokerage, seeing what they can do. With our culture, we've got some different testimonials down here. If you guys have had a great experience with us and want to share a testimonial, we could get it added to this list. And then we've got our contact us, which again goes back to my calendar so that they can directly work with us. And we've got a join now button. So maybe they've already met with us and they're ready to join, or they've heard about us, then they could come in here and put in their information, and it goes. I want to go back to this. So Jake's made a little 60-second overview video about how everything works. And we've got what happens behind the scenes, kind of the stuff that's going on in the background and our contact information here. So anyways, it's a really awesome tool. And what we've done is we have built this tool into our email signatures. So when you look at my email signature, there's a little something from More Equity, and we just put in joinequitytoday.com, a link in there for that. And of course, if somebody joins, then you get profit share. And we're over $13 million in profit share that we have paid out. And it's very simple. Just somebody joins that was referred from you. Every time they close a transaction for the rest of the time that you're both with us, $100 goes into your account. So it's really amazing what Equity is providing. We're charging $5.99 a transaction, and we're actually doing everything that we do for $4.99 because 100 of it goes to profit share. Don, you can submit testimonials. Just send them to me. Just shoot me an email with it, and I can add that into our website. So thank you. Jake, let's go to you. You have some fun stuff you've been working on.
Yeah, and feel free to redirect me if I get lost in the weeds here or tell me to do something totally different. Let me readjust my screens quick and share. Looks like you have to approve my request. Can I share my screen? Thank you. Sorry, a lot of screens. Okay, can you guys see my screen? No, it's cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. So this, just because we're recording this for brand new agents, this is an email that all new agents get right out of the gates. So if you're watching this and you have not gotten this email, double check your spam. I try really hard to make sure this doesn't land in spam. But if it does, go look for it. So first thing, and you guys that are on here all know this, Launchpad within Elevate is always the very first thing you want to do getting started with Equity. So I'm in Eric's account and it might look a little different. Also, I'm not as familiar with the new Elevate site as I should be. Eric, how do I even get to the Launchpad now?
Sorry, go to the home page. And oh, you might not see it because this is mine.
Yeah, let me jump into mine.
Sorry, the brokers don't get the Launchpad that agents do.
Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, yeah, there we are. So yeah, Launchpad right on the main page when you log into Elevate. And hope this isn't important because I'm not going to pause and read it right now. So yeah, Launchpad has kind of your fundamental tutorials on dotloop especially, but then how to submit all your paperwork to Equity, get paid on time, business building ideas. Eric's got a whole bunch of training videos in here, but you should be able to do the full Launchpad start to finish in like 2 hours or less. So that's always where you start if you haven't done that already. And then our private Facebook group, we've only got about half our agents in here out of the over 500 agents that we have. So jump in here. This is where we post all our awards at the end of every month, where you can ask questions, look for coverage for open houses or showings, or offer to do open houses like this. Anyone in Orem that can meet with an unrepresented buyer. That would be an awesome opportunity if you're in the group to take advantage of it. So join that group, be aware of that, keep an eye on that. Obviously we send out emails every week. So the Eric's weekly newsletter comes out every Monday. Watch for that, but we also put announcements in the Facebook group. That's where we'll do all our awards, and anytime we live stream these kind of classes, those will be in the Facebook group also. And then if you haven't seen this email and you're brand new, send me a headshot and a little bio so I can introduce you in that group. Just helps make connections with some of our other agents and get some conversations going. Training calendar. This is if you have access to this, that's how you would be on this call right now. So this shows our 2 meetings every Tuesday. We've got our 9 a.m. workshop group. And then the 10 a.m. is usually the actual class, CE class, or just educational info like this. The workshop group is more of like a group brainstorm, talk about your business, what you can improve, that kind of stuff. And then every Monday, Randall does his marketing mastermind. So that's a 1 hour Zoom call every week. And Randall's brilliant with the marketing and brand building, all that kind of stuff. Then Eric's got his elite agent training, 12-week training program that's every Thursday. And then down here, and for you guys, if you want this, I don't know if Eric has shared his version. So this is just equityonboarding.com. I'm not real creative with my domain names. But this is a bunch of partner resources for all our agents. So we've got our training program here, Slate Media for photos, transaction coordination, a couple different lenders we have listed here, moving companies, title companies, home warranty, home inspections, CMA, and that was a cool one. They renovate the home and then you pay them back when the home sells. So lots of cool resources for agents.
I give a
Eric?
shout out to that moving company, Jake.
Oh, yes, please. Let me get back up to them.
Oh.
These guys.
They moved us out into the gym for our remodel, and then they just moved us back into the house last Saturday. And my wife, if you've been in the gym, we've got a little balcony there. A lot of people don't notice it. There's like this narrow, tiny stairway. It's almost like a ladder to get up to it. But the balcony remains largely unused. And my wife says, I wonder if I can make that my own little workout space. And could you guys haul the treadmill up over the edge of the balcony? And so they're like, sure, we can do whatever. And like we hooked ropes around it. And I mean, these guys are amazing. They hauled a treadmill up like 15, yeah, it's probably 15 feet in the air, 16 feet in the air to get it up over the edge of this balcony so that my wife could do this. They brought our laundry in. They're just tough guys. They moved everything in, which is 2 big conference room desks, all the beds. They assembled the beds for us that they moved in. I mean, some big heavy stuff. Our laundry, they did it all in about 3 hours, 2.5 hours. So just phenomenal guys. So anyways, I wanted to put a little plug out for them. I've really enjoyed working with them.
Yeah, and you were telling me that they get paid by the hour and they were still running with all your stuff, getting it done as fast as they could. Yeah, those guys are awesome. So if you need that, again, that's equityonboarding.com. You can reference all of these different things. You can even search by search lender or mortgage. So any of that kind of stuff, you can come in and find a bunch of different resources we have here. Okay, and then profit share. You guys all know about profit share, but if you set a meeting with Eric and that agent ends up joining our office, then you get $100 anytime they close a transaction. And we've got that booking link right up here. So you can, share this with any agents, that are looking to make a move or just getting into real estate. And then it's always good just to text Eric and say, hey, I asked this person to set up a meeting, just so we can connect the dots and say this person referred this person. And then they should also put you in their onboarding paperwork. But yeah, anytime you refer us to somebody, let Eric know also. Did you have something to add there, Eric?
On your question, is onboarding localized to the north? No, this works for everybody anywhere. That's a good question. Thank you.
Okay, so that's most of the brand new agent resources. Where do you want me to go next with this, Eric? I've got some of my own stuff I can show off. We can do the elite agent training stuff.
Show off what you've been building for the elite agent training, because a lot of agents on here are they're either new to Well, a lot of you, some of you are new to equity in general. Some of you are brand new agents. Some of you have subscribed to the training program, the Elite Agent Training Program, which we require for all new agents or agents that haven't closed a deal in the last year. But again, all of you are ambassadors. So when you tell somebody about equity, if they're a new agent or an agent that's struggling to build their business, we want you to be aware of some of these tools that we have available for them so that when you refer them, you can say, hey, this is what we have to offer here. So Jake, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm trying to find the login code and then drag it back. Okay. Can you guys all see this now?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, this is something we've been building for the Lead Agent Training Program, kind of a more hands-on piece of it. So the first thing here, we've got the Purchase Contract Lab. So we've got it broken down into different difficulty tiers. You come in here and it's got the scenario details. So you represent this person. Here's what you know about the property and the seller, property address, all the contact info, and then the terms that you have. And then you just go through and fill this out just like you would the REPC. If you have any addenda, so let's see here. If we say there are addenda, say addendum 1, FHA, which is not correct on this one, but just a demo, you can select addenda here, and then it automatically selects the addendum down here. Again, you'll fill that out, and then when you submit it, it basically goes through and evaluates how you filled it out. And it says, hey, you missed this. Here's what you need to do differently. And yeah, I only did 2 things right here. So I got 9% score. But you can fill this out and it'll give you feedback on everything. This scenario needs more practice, apparently. So that's a fun way to get familiar with, especially as a brand new agent, if you've never done the purchase contracts, a couple different scenarios to get you familiar with it in a very low stakes environment. And then this conversation lab. So this is practicing like buyer and listing appointments. I don't know if it will work when I'm on Zoom, but let me give it a try. I like the voice on this one. So you can do it like as a voice call. Oh geez, and this is the hard level. Full disclosure, I'm not very good at these. I get really low ratings when I try to actually do this. So let's see if I can share my audio between Zoom and this. Could you guys hear any of that audio? That only came through for me. Okay, good. That's a silly voice. Um, basically, you do it as a phone call though. So it comes through, you click this, it starts the conversation, um, and then you go back and forth with voice. So it shows you the text, but then it's also basically reading it to you as the voice. You hold this down, respond, and then you're just having a voice chat with these different demos. So you can do buyer and listing presentation practices, and you can kind of see what the issue is going to be before you walk into it. So this one had a bad example with the previous agent, and it's really, really hard to overcome. I've spent like 30 minutes arguing with the guy on why I'm the best agent in the world, and he is not having it. So if you want to challenge yourself, these are kind of fun to do and just practice different scenarios. And then this one is similar, but it's kind of a written text type thing. Um, so it's like a lead follow-up engine. So in this one, the scenario is, you get a lead from Zillow. This is all it gives you, and then you write a message. So say, hi, Amanda. I'd love to set up a showing this week. And then you just go back and forth. It requires like a minimum amount of touch points back and forth. So I think that minimum is 6 messages. And let's see if I can get to 6 quick and then have it grade me. So this is the easy level. So she's really receptive to anything I say.
You're just saying, okay.
Yep. Thanks for being so responsive. I'm really excited. All right. So then I will get my evaluation. And it might, yeah, no, low likelihood of conversion. So my response speed was good, and this is something I need to change in the grading because response speed we don't really factor in when we're just sitting here. Personalization, so I didn't reference anything about the property or about the info or ask any information gathering questions. No demonstration of expertise or what I could offer her as a guide in this process. My replies of okay, provided no clear guidance or specific next steps. Not overly friendly or professional, lacking warmth and engagement. Follow-up was minimal. No escalation or additional touch points to reinforce. So I had no strengths and a lot of areas to improve. And then you can go through all these uh, different scenarios. You can see these are the beginner scenarios. These ones are a little harder on the grading and they will be less friendly in the responses. And then, just evaluates the conversation afterwards. Basically says, here's where you're lacking and here's what you can do to improve. And then this one we just put together last week. This one's probably good for everybody, but it's kind of some increasingly complex ethical scenarios. So like this one, buyer writes a heartfelt letter mentioning their kids' church, how they want to raise them in a safe neighborhood. The buyer's agent asks you as the listing agent to deliver it because it helps humanize their buyers. So then you have to give a detailed response and say what you'd do, what you'd say to your sellers, kind of how you approach the situation and how you think through it. So you're not just writing a response to the buyer, you're kind of justifying your decisions here. Minimum of 20 words. I would. So then I submit whatever I think. And I interviewed Eric to get the correct answers on all of these and get his exact response. I got an F. So acknowledge fair housing concerns, decline to deliver the letter, explain the liability concerns, redirect focus to more objective offer criteria, document everything, and maintain a professional relationship with the buyer's agent. So down here we have kind of a summary of Eric's response to each of these. The correct approach is do not deliver, do not let the seller consider it, keep the decision on what offer to accept strictly numbers and terms. Even the appearance of being influenced by protected class adjacent info can create liability. And then in your documentation, just have something in writing that you advised your sellers against taking any love letters from buyers and why, and what you recommended instead. So yeah, lots of scenarios like that in the ethics. Kind of pits you in a tough situation. You have to explain what you do and why, and then it compares your response against Eric's broker official response. So that's what we've been building in here. And then this business plan, we actually have this on the public Elite Agent training site if you want a business plan. Up here, if you click the free business plan, plug in all your numbers, then it will email you a PDF with a business plan for the year, and break everything down based on your exact goals and finances. So I just need to add that into here as well. But yeah, if you want to access that, those are all cool resources that are part of the Elite Agent training program.
What do you guys think of that?
I think it's freaking awesome. Like, I feel like my guard would be down as far as like engaging with, how you do role plays and stuff. And you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm so new. I don't know what the training has been like here. You know, and as a new agent, you could get on there and be like, no holes barred, just be like, hey, let's do it. Right. So, yeah, I think it's a great lab. Thanks, Jake.
That's a
Thanks.
great comment. I hadn't thought of that, Monica, that new agents would be intimidated trying to practice this in a training scenario. It's a really
Yeah,
good place.
especially with veteran agents, right? Especially with
Yeah.
veteran agents and brokers or whatever. You don't know how many people in here have their associates brokerage, you know what I mean? Like, and so just being able to just be like, yeah, let's screw up. Let's screw up big and see what feedback we get, you know?
Yeah. Any other thoughts from you guys? What do you think?
Yeah, I could totally see practicing this every day just to really get comfortable with things and know where things are and just yeah, just helps with so much confidence. So I'm really excited about this.
Cool. And both, Julie, you got access to the Elite Agent Training Program, right? I think
Yeah.
Monica does too.
Hmm.
So,
I'm not sure if I do or not, Eric, actually, but I love the feeling of padded walls in a room, like you can't hurt yourself or you can't hurt anyone else. You know what I'm saying? Like
uh-huh.
it's like
Yeah.
bumper bowling, right?
So,
Your
Jake,
balls
where will they be able to access this?
So we haven't actually rolled it out yet. Hopefully by the time someone else is watching the video, it's live. So it's eliteagentlabs.com is the website. We'll link it within the training program in the Notion app and in the welcome email and stuff. And then when you sign up for the program, you'll get a unique access code. So yes, behind the paywall of the course. But if you're in the program, we'll send you a login code and then you can access that and have full access to everything on eliteagentlabs.com.
So, anyways, we know it looks like we just sit back and relax all day long, but me and my Greek villa and Jake in his big corporate office. But yeah, we're constantly working whenever we have a gap in our schedules to try to work and program. And yeah, I mean, me and Jake both deal with questions all day long from agents. And so we're aware of the challenges that are out there and we're trying to make things better for you. So, what we would love from you is again, and I've had Shelly typed in that she's just texted a friend looking to come to Equity. Monica just texted me during this with a referral lead. That's what we're looking for, you guys. I want you guys to be so just really proud of who we are as a company and what we're trying to build here. And not only are we the least expensive brokerage out there, but the tools and stuff that we provide is really just phenomenal. I mean, even compared to the companies that are taking 40 or 50% splits, I think our tools crush the competition. So, anyways, I appreciate you guys sitting with us through this to be aware of what we have to offer. Are there any questions that you guys have for us? We can do a little bit of an open mic session. If you have questions about how things are done, and it doesn't matter, this is designed for new agents, so it doesn't matter how simple the question is, we can field those here. Julie.
Yeah, I have a question. I was at a um, Northwestern investment group, and they were talking about how agent. Anyway, I don't know exactly what they said, but from what I understand, when you are negotiating with other people, let's say you have a seller that you're representing, um, I understand that you can't disclose their circumstances. And they were like, "Oh no, you should be able to." And I was like, "Oh, that's new." So I don't know, like, how much can you disclose that's like okay and not? Like, as far
So
as like, I
part of
don't
our
know if I want people to know if there was a divorce situation or,
part of our fiduciary
you know,
duty to our clients is confidentiality. That's one of the
right,
aspects of it, right? And so what do I want to disclose? What helps my client? What harms my client? And there's different things. And there's some things that are completely irrelevant. Like my client's a really good Catholic person. I don't need to disclose that at all. It should be irrelevant, right? And then it opens up and it might make them uncomfortable. Like if I'm representing a buyer moving into a neighborhood, um, then and I make that comment, it could make that seller uncomfortable because now I've just opened them up to a discrimination complaint because they didn't pick my offer because I told them I was Catholic, right? Or I'm a single mom with 5 kids. They didn't pick my offer because I've disclosed familial status and things like that. So there's certain things that I just don't want to share because they don't help the situation. And if the agent on the other side is educated, they're going to be uncomfortable with that because I'm opening them up to liability, sharing those things.
right.
Then there's some things that potentially could be helpful. When I bought this home that I'm in, my wife had just left me. I didn't quite know why yet. It wasn't until later that she showed up to the closing of our other home on the back of a motorcycle with her boyfriend that I'm able, because I was totally blind. I just put the pieces together, right? But I came down here, and my brother, who lives next door, told the sellers this is his situation. And it was at the height of the market, multiple offers on everything. They already had an offer on this home. And rather than being a competing situation, because my brother shared with them my story, they said, you know what, we've always felt like this house needed to go to somebody that needed healing. And so they said, we're not going to negotiate with the other people. We're not going to do, best and highest. We'll give it to you for this price. If you want it, it's yours. So that helped me.
Mm-hmm.
So again, this is something that if I've got a question, I'm going to talk with my client and say, hey, do you want me to share this with them? Like in my discussions with them, he mentioned that he'd been divorced previously. And so maybe if we shared that with him that you're going through this, it would be something where he relates to you and it might be favorable or not, right? So if there's any question, you can always ask your client, do you want me to share this information? And that's
Okay.
probably the safest rule to go by rather than hard and fast, you can't share anything.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's ever a question, you can ask your client and then just use your own discretion because a lot of stuff that maybe your client wants you to share, they're uneducated about, and it would open, it could potentially be a liability situation for discrimination.
Sure. Okay.
Eric, to be clear, can I just ask a question on clarification? So is it your brother Philip that,
Jeff, yeah.
yeah?
Philip's my son, yeah.
Sorry, I get him confused, but was he acting as an agent in the scenario or was he just neighbor conversationing? Like,
Neighbor conversation, but it still helped me out. So you never know what's going to help you out. So if you have a question, you can always ask
okay.
your client.
I just
Don,
wanted
your question about whether or not to get that permission in writing, it certainly doesn't hurt, right? So if it's something particularly sensitive, hey, just for my own records, I'll shoot them a text. For my own records, you're giving me permission to share this. So if ever there's a question, you want to document it per our conversation, it can be a text, it can be an email, whatever.
Cool. Thank you.
I have one question of comparison. So I've been considering doing like some of the Buffini trainings and stuff. How does this elite agent training compare, or does it even, like, as far as training goes, how does it compare to elite agent training?
So the elite agent training, it was developed like 20 years ago, and it's constantly evolved over time. And about I don't know, 8 or 9 years ago, I was introduced to Buffini and became a certified Buffini mentor. And I really liked that Buffini's methodology, his way of thinking was so in sync with mine to the point that I felt uncomfortable. Like he has this three hats training and I have a three hats training. And it's not the same hats, but I'm like, holy crap, it looks like I'm copying his stuff, but my stuff predates his by, well, at least predates
A decade.
being aware of his
Right.
by a long time. So I feel like our training is the most comprehensive. Buffini does a really good job. Who's been through the Buffini course on here? Brian, do you want to share what you got out of that? What the real value for the Buffini is? What are his strengths?
I mean, it's a lot of relationship building and going over how to organize your clients and how to build those relationships into the ones that are actually going to get you somewhere. So you kind of break down each relationship into different grades so you can focus on the clients that are going to, I guess, benefit you the most right away versus the ones that are you're going to spin your wheels with the longest. Kind of. I mean,
Yeah. So Buffini's forte is and always has been relationship building, relationship marketing. His software, Referral Maker, is all about relationships. It's missing, I think, several important tools. Shelly said, is that the Blitz thing they just started? Yes, that's Buffini's new program is this Blitz. He's increased his fees recently. I think it's $1,000. Has anybody looked into the Blitz?
Yeah, it's $1,000 if you're a new client. And then once you're in there, there's a bunch of upsells that are around 3 to 400 if you
Okay.
wanted to do other things.
Okay. So cost wise, it's comparable. We're $1,000 for the Elite Agent Training Program. And if you're interested in it, you can contact me or Jake, and we're happy to do a back end walkthrough and just show you all the different modules. We've got about 70 different videos that cover everything working with buyers, sellers, all the templates for them, etc. So we're happy to do a demo walkthrough for you.
I would say the Elite Training's a little bit more comprehensive, whereas Buffini's strictly relationships and like building. As far as my little thing is you're looking for just leads with the Blitz, and with Elite it just is overall great for new agents.
As far as software, like Referral Maker compares to what that we already have here at Equity. Is there something comparable that we're using already?
Referral Maker's just their CRM brand, their contact management software.
Okay. So
Yeah, there's Pro Agent that's free.
Jake, you had something else you wanted to show.
Yeah, is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me find Zoom so I can share my screen again.
While you're doing that, let me answer Shelly's question. Since we have the tech giant with us, Jake, is there an easy way to put texts in our dot loop?
Um,
I don't think dot loop,
there's
well, they
not
don't
an
have a
easy
built-in
way.
text feature.
The best thing I would say, if you want to keep like a database of all your info within the transaction, I would just take a screenshot. So let me do it right now while I'm sharing my screen. Okay, so I just took the screenshot of my text with Eric. You can screenshot it on your phone and then email it to yourself. And then you can save it as or export as a PDF. Say text with Eric. Save that as a PDF. And then when it's in a PDF format, you can just upload it to .loop like you would any other document. So if you wanted to do that, I would just create a separate folder in .loop for text conversations or emails or whatever. Save them all as PDFs and then keep them separate in that folder. So not an easy method, but there is a method.
All right. Thanks, Jake.
Yep. Um, okay, so this, sorry, my screen's dirty. This is something else I've been working on. So it's kind of a spin-off of Unicorn TC. We do transaction coordination for agents. So anytime I have an idea that makes things easier for agents, I try and spin it up quick. Um, so this is, and I kind of built this for myself too, because I was getting frustrated. There's a million different image generators, all the different AI platforms now, and the ChatGPT and Google Gemini, and there's literally like 40 different models. And I was paying for all the subscriptions. Um, and so I built this so I could just pay per use basically, plug in different images, have it do exactly what I want, and then pay a couple cents each time I use it, instead of paying $30 a month to 10 different companies for my subscription. So just a couple quick demos. So I use this a lot when agents are taking cell phone photos of their listings, and we need to enhance some stuff. So this will give us a quick side by side. Um, but there's a couple different things you can do with it. So maybe I'll open another thing on the side here. So you can upload a selfie and it'll generate a couple different professional headshots for you. So you can just take a selfie on your phone, add that right in. Email signature, same thing, upload your headshot, contact info, style preferences, and it'll generate an image that you can add as your email signature. So just a bunch of these kind of quick, easy ways to get up and running. And I figured this might be useful for brand new agents if they don't have any of these things. Um, let's jump back into here. So yeah, this is a cell phone photo of a kitchen, and it's a really nice house, but they didn't have professional photos done in time, so he just went through with his cell phone. And you can see kind of the difference side by side, the color correction, a little bit of cropping here to cut out the dog food bowl. So it just looks a lot more professional than just snapping it with your phone. So that's one thing we can plug it into. You can use it to declutter rooms. So let's see, plug in this one. So a lot of decorations, stuff out here. Click declutter and let that run for a couple seconds. You can also do twilight photos. So I know a lot of photographers kind of charge a upcharge to get a few edited twilight photos for your listing. This one you can just plug in here. Again, you can see it's kind of a bad lighting cell phone photo, just middle of the day. And then it takes like 20 seconds to generate this. So here's our before and after of the room being decluttered. So yeah, you can see all the decorations and tables and everything. And it doesn't clean up everything. You can still see the stuff on the doors, but all the tabletops are clean, the chairs are clean. It removes a lot of the stuff back here on this folding table, but it keeps everything else the same. So we're not changing anything material about the home. Eric, can I get a second opinion that this is legal and approved to use for like MLS stuff?
Yeah, it's legal. What I would say, I don't know. I always like to mention, like, especially if the person is a little bit of a hoarder, and it's not going to be cleaned up. It's one thing if they're going to be moved, and I'm taking the photos now, but they're in the process of moving, and so there's boxes and things stacked all around. Then this is a great tool. Um, but if buyers show up and it looks all cluttered, it's still super messy, then I don't think it's helpful personally, because I hate, I've worked with enough buyers where we walk in with high hopes and they're immediately dashed upon entry because you're like, holy crap, this place is a disaster. It's not what we expected at all. So to me, you never get good results with a misleading photograph. But if there's a way that cleaning this up, gets us ahead of the curve and we don't have to wait 3 or 4 more weeks till they move to get it listed, I think this is a great tool for that kind of thing.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I agree. And these guys, they are in the middle of moving. They just wanted to get it listed as quickly as possible. So the agent just went through and snapped a bunch of cell phone photos.
That is
Um,
cool.
and then, yeah, that looks so much better. Doesn't change anything material about the home, just updates the lighting, gives you that twilight photo. And then that's a much better kind of headline photo than this. And you can try a few different variations. So if I regenerate it with a different style, it'll take 20 more seconds. And then spin that up. And let's see, 6. So anyways, just some kind of quick photo editing tools, twilight photos, decluttering, enhancing stuff. You can do virtual staging as well. And then these are all just kind of startup things if you need headshots, email signature, business card. A lot of this stuff you could do in Canva. I mean, at least an email signature and a business card. In fact, I'd probably recommend doing that in Canva instead. But you can use this to get some ideas. And then if you want more creative control, I guess. So I've got it split here. There's the Magic Studio, which is all this pre-built stuff that I've kind of customized to say, when you get a photo like this, do this. And so that's what these are. And then the Creative Studio, you've got full creative control. So you can choose the aspect ratio. You can describe an image, have it generate an image. You can edit images, which is what most of these are doing. Image to video. So you could, plug in, I don't know what context you'd use this in real estate, but you can plug in an image and have it animated. Text to video, same thing, just describe the video. So this is just, a way to get access to some of the high-end image and video generation stuff without paying for a monthly subscription. So I just set it up so you buy a token balance, and then each time you use the tokens, it just charges you per use. So
It looked like it was like 21 cents was what I saw.
yeah, and it changes based on what you're doing. So like in the headshot generator, I'm not going to generate this because that is not a headshot. But you can select multiple styles at once, and then it will adjust the pricing based on like how many styles and different stuff you're doing. But yeah, 20 cents give or take, depending on what you're doing with stuff. But and yeah, if anybody wants to test this out for me, I'm still kind of debugging this. So if you want to text me and I'll get you some free credits just to play with this, let me know and I'll set you up with that.
That's pretty cool, Jake.
Thank you.
There's some great functionality there. Okay. Any other questions? We're at an hour mark right now. Okay, we'll go ahead and stop the recording.